Hello, I'm Eve Jackson in Paris. Thanks for joining us. Coming up, bringing classical music to the inmates. Racha Arodaky plays behind bars in a French prison. Top Christmas reads. Our book critic Augustin Trapenard is here with some stocking filler tips. And a cat-tastic Christmas. The new song from the Jingle Cats the Kittens is out. First, she's one of France's most promising pianists. Racha Arodaky is used to performing in prestigious venues, but her latest concert was in a slightly different space. You might say she had a captive audience, in the literal sense.
Racha Arodaky played as well as usual, and as always, the spectators listened with attention. Yet this concert was anything but regular. Arodaky's always tried to reach out to new listeners, but this time she pushed extra doors. She played inside a prison.
This is completely new to me.
It took her longer than usual to access the hall. Once she was there, the pianist discovered with surprise that the prison theater looked much like a regular one.
It's nice, right? I'm not all that nervous about playing, I'm more stressed about talking to them. Although I'm used to talking in concerts, I'll try to stay natural.
880 people are imprisoned in Bois. About 100 of them came to the concert.
I really want to reach out to you. Listen, it's really awesome.
The pianist presented each composition to the spectators, and they showed their enthusiasm in a rather odd way for a classical concert.
I was moved. I didn't know some of the pieces. The first time I attended a classical concert.
We rediscovered things we felt during our childhood.
The prisoners were so moved that some started playing the piano themselves. The pianist moved aside, and the already unusual concert ended in an unexpected way.
Well, some say it's an omen of what could happen across Spain, with funding for the arts being slashed. After opening 9 months ago, Spain's Nehemiah Cultural Centre has been closed to the public. Despite sold-out performances by Kevin Spacey and Woody Allen, the dazzling museum has been hit by regional budget cuts.
Dancing to Rescue an Art Center. Fans of this cultural institution in Avilés, Asturias, have launched a campaign to save it, posting flash mob videos like this one on social networks.
I used to spend whole days there, taking photos, making videos, or simply sitting and enjoying the views of its angles. It was a magnificent experience, and I hope we can still save the center.
Designed by world-famous Brazilian architect Oscar Niemeyer, this center had already hosted Woody Allen, Kevin Spacey and Brazilian singer Gilberto Gil. But just 9 months after its opening, it is closed to visitors, and it's even lost its name. The newly elected conservative regional government seized control of the center after months of fighting with the management. They argued the Nehemiah Cultural Center was too expensive and poorly managed, but its deputy director disagrees.
Let's be clear, the region only gives €1 million of grants a year. 300,000 comes from the town hall. The center only costs €4 per taxpayer.
Today, the regional government admits the future program is still up in the air.
In the short term, we're going to open it just as a building, explaining the architecture and the importance of Oscar Niemeyer. In 3 or 4 months, we'll have a more detailed program, but we will need to face up to the budget cuts.
But supporters of the institution have a different idea. Remove political control of the center, go back to its original program, and recover the name of its prestigious creator, Niemeyer.
And earlier this month, Brazil's star architect Oscar Niemeyer, who designed the cultural centre in Spain, feted his 104th birthday. He has revolutionised modern architecture with his sensual curves, inspired by the body of the Brazilian woman. We're now to another museum that's been turned into a work of art itself by the French artist Guillaume Batazzi. Home 2011 is the title of a major event at the Miyamura Art Museum in Sapporo in Japan. Reportage has created a 900 metres squared mural on the building's facade. Now, it's a simple gift, but it's one of my favourite things to get for Christmas, the Noble Book. Our book critic, Augustin Trapenor, is here to give us a couple of ideas for our Christmas stockings this year. Welcome, Augustin. You're looking very dapper in your Christmas
Don't
outfit.
ask me, Eve, why I'm wearing this hat, because I don't know. Anyway, you're right. I'm going to talk about Christmas books today, and in particular, one important book, which is a founding book of Christmas, of the spirit of Christmas, actually. It's called The Night Before Christmas by Clement Clark Moore, and it's actually a poem, an American poem that was written in 1822, and of course...
We all know it, though, don't we? 'Twas the night before Christmas and all through the night, not a creature is all through the house, not a creature is stirring, not even a mouse.
There you go. That's very good. And you know, it's supposedly the best-known American verses, and it's told, of course, the night before Christmas every year to children, and they pass it to their children, and so on and so forth. And the book is very interesting in a way, also because, you know, it was kind of disseminated in pop culture. There was a Disney adaptation, also a Garfield adaptation that is very famous, and of course the Tim Burton movie, The Nightmare Before Christmas, which is clearly a parody of this poem. And also it's interesting because it created, in a way, our conception of Father Christmas, which is named, Saint Nicholas, of course, in the book, because it's linked to Christianity.
You know, if I'd known about this in advance, I could have shown you a video of me when I was 9 in a Christmas play.
I don't want to see this video.
That poem. Okay, now tell us about another slightly less conventional book.
Sure, I brought another book, which is a French book, actually, but it's a translation of American. It's by Robert Benchley, Why I Hate Christmas, Pourquoi je déteste Noël in French. And basically it's 12 short stories. You know, Robert Benchley was a very famous American humorist, but also comedian. I think he won an Oscar at one point. And this is a collection of some of his best short stories that are about, you know, Yuletide festivities. And it's very ironic, it's a lot of fun, and it's very mean too.
And it's taking the mick out of Christmas and all of the sort of traditions that we follow.
That's right, exactly. And of course you can't offer this kind of book, you know, to bigots or kids, because kids are kind of put through hell in this book. One little girl, you know, ends up hung up on a ceiling light. Oh. There's a couple of kids that are slapped by a mean uncle, and even a mean dad who murders his whole family. So it's a little, but it's so funny, you know, and the humor also is very sophisticated. It's much more complex than it seems. There are a lot of puns, a lot of word plays, but also gags. Great situation comedy. I strongly recommend it.
I'm looking at your hat. Are you a fan of Christmas?
I'm not a big fan of Christmas, which is like I like this book, Why I Hate Christmas, by Robert Benchley.
So tell us, what is a good stocking filler this year?
Well, it's hard really, but I think, you know, a good mystery is probably the best gift ever. And I brought another book, which is called Drood by Dan Simmons, and it's great because it's a Victorian tale, and at the same time it's a great mystery, a gothic mystery. Basically, you have to know that in 1865, Charles Dickens, who's the hero of this book, you know, the author Charles Dickens was traveling with his mistress, and he had a train accident. Now, the book... During this accident, he met this mysterious man named Drood, and the book is all about this mysterious figure whom we don't know. So who is this mysterious man? Who is he? Is he a serial killer? Is he, you know, a mesmerist? Is he maybe a Victorian ghost? We don't really know. The book is narrated by another famous author, Wilkie Collins, who was a friend of Dickens, but a jealous friend, so it's an unreliable narrator. It's absolutely great book. It's a Victorian tale, also a ghost story, a beautiful mystery, and I strongly recommend it too.
Okay, just quickly remind us of those 3 books.
Sure, of course. The first one is The Night Before Christmas by Clement Clark Moore, beautiful French edition, bilingual edition, you know, with illustrations by Brigitte Suzini. It's absolutely beautiful. The second one is Why I Hate Christmas by Robert Benchley, 12 short stories that are extremely ironic and mean. And the third one is Dan Simmons' Drood, which is a great Victorian tale.
Okay, Augustin, thanks very much. Now, I just want you to take a look at this and tell me what you think. Now, this is the new song from the Jingle Cats, the Kittens. What do you think about it?
I'm not even responding to this, Eve.
For someone who doesn't like Christmas, it's quite ironic, isn't it?
It is very ironic. I'm a little embarrassed now.
Well, they first meowed their way onto the music scene in 1992 with Jingle Bells. This year, Mike Spaller's Jingle Cats are back with a cat version of the popular Feliz Navidad. Here he is.
The hardest thing with shooting video of cats or film of cats is that you set the cat down in the place and they run away. And I have a lot of hours of that type of footage. And occasionally a cat will, for some reason, stay in place, and on more rare occasions, the cat will actually meow at you. So it takes a lot of patience, and you have to have a special cat.
You have to have a special cat?
I think it's very scary, Eve, this video. But I like your hat.
I got it from a very special guest in the studio. Do you think your dog would be able to do that?
How do you know I have a dog, Eve?
I've seen you walking it.
No, he will never wear that kind of stuff. You can trust me.
Okay, well, that brings us to the end of the show. We're going to leave you with a few more cats singing. Remember, you can follow us on Facebook. You can follow me on Twitter at Eveling in Paris. Thanks for joining us. Have a cat-tastic Christmas. I'll see you next time.